know what it's like to lose.
Hey, editor, let's just start off with the basics and let's go back to where all the villains originate and rank them side by side, not just the Thanos clip, man. Hey Marvel fans, welcome back to Cinematic Cosmos Critique. Today we're diving into the ultimate ranking of every MCU villain from Iron Man 2008 all the way up to Deadpool and Wolverine. We'll be ranking every villain from weakest to strongest, so buckle up and get ready for an epic, downright evil in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just let me make this clear. I am going to be dividing this into three tiers: the pathetic tier, the moderate tier, and the upper class, the best tier. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to start off our ranking with the villains who, despite with the best efforts, didn't quite measure up to the universe's bigger threats. First up is Trevor Slattery, the fake Mandarin from Iron Man 3. He might have fooled the world for a while, but let's face it, Trevor is just an actor with no real power, making him the weakest villain in the MCU. His performance as the fake Mandarin was more comedic than villainous, leaving audiences and even the characters questioning what they were dealing with. Ivan Vanko, aka Whiplash from Iron Man 2, comes next. His vendetta against Tony Stark and his advanced tech was certainly dangerous, but his lack of strategic thinking and reliance on a suit place him low on our list. While he had potential, his narrow focus and unrefined execution made him more of a short-lived threat. Following closely is Justin Hammer, also from Iron Man 2. Hammer is the rival businessman, but without any superpowers or effective tech of his own, he's more of a nuisance than a true threat. His ambition exceeded his abilities, making him a forgettable antagonist in the grand scheme of things. Aldrich Killian, the mastermind behind the extremist virus in Iron Man 3, had fire-breathing powers and regenerative abilities, but in the grander scheme of things, he's overshadowed by more powerful foes. Despite his impressive powers, his personal vendetta and a lack of broader influence left him falling short as a significant villain. Okay, we have Malekith next, the Dark Elf from Thor the Dark World, who wields the Ether or the Reality Stone, which gave him considerable power. However, his defeat at the hands of Thor and Loki highlights his vulnerabilities, keeping him in the lower tier. Even with an Infinity Stone, Malekith's lack of depth and underwhelming performance and presence made him one of the most forgettable villains. Crossbones, who appeared in Captain America the Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War, is a skilled combatant with a powerful vendetta. Despite his military prowess, his lack of superpowers places him lower on the list. While a formidable opponent on a physical level, Crossbones was ultimately a minor player in the grand narrative. Next we have Darren Cross, or Yellow Jacket from Ant-Man, is another villain whose power is heavily reliant on technology. His shrinking suit is formidable, but he's ultimately limited by his dependence on tech. He's dangerous in close quarters, but outside of his suit, Cross is just another corporate villain with a limited scope. Okay, so now we're moving up the ranks to the mid-tier villains who posed a more significant challenge to our heroes but still fell short of the top-tier powerhouses. So at number 1 in the mid-tier we have Cassius from Doctor Strange. I don't know how to pronounce it, I always forget. It's Cassius or Cassilius, something like that. He's a former student of the Ancient One who wields dark magic. His connection to Dormammu and mystery of mystical arts makes him a serious threat, but his dependence on borrowed power and ultimate defeat keep him mid-tier rather than the top class. He brought a mystical challenge, but his ambition was ultimately his undoing. Next, we have Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy. Wielding the Power Stone, Ronan had the ability to destroy entire planets. However, his arrogance and reliance on the stone's power ultimately led to his downfall. Ronan was a force to be reckoned with, but his single-mindedness and overconfidence were his greatest weaknesses. Hela, the goddess of death from Thor Ragnarok, is a powerful Asgardian who easily outmatched Thor and the Asgardian army. Her control over Necroswords and Asgardian magic makes her a formidable foe, but her defeat by Surtur places her in the mid-tier. Hela's reign of terror was brief but impactful, showcasing the power of the Asgardian goddess. Ultron, the rogue AI from Avengers Age of Ultron, is another mid-tier villain. Created by Tony Stark, Ultron had the potential to be one of the Avengers' greatest threats with vibranium body. an army of drones. However, his inability to evolve beyond his programming and his ultimate defeat by the Avengers keep him in the middle of our list. But his flaws and rigid mindset held him back from being a true top tier threat, even though the potential was immense. Adrian Thomas, aka Vulture from Spider Man Homecoming, is a more grounded villain with a personal vendetta. His tech based wings and street smart tactics make him dangerous, especially to the friendly neighborhood Spider Man, but he lacks the cosmic power to rank any higher. Vulture brought a personal touch to villainy, showing how MCU can even make street level threats feel significant. Quentin Beck, or Mysterio from Spider Man Far From Home, is a master of illusion and manipulation. His ability to deceive and control the narrative made him a formidable opponent for Spider-Man, but his reliance on tech and lack of real power keep him mid-tier. Mysterio's illusions were mind-bending, but his lack of true power ultimately exposed his vulnerabilities. Now we are entering into the top tier villains who aren't just dangerous but pose an existential threat to the entire world, and in some cases, the entire universe. So at number 1, or at the start, we have Loki, the god of mischief. He's one of the most complex villains in the MCU. His magical abilities, cunning, and ability to wield the Tesseract makes him a significant threat, especially during the events of the Avengers. Though his character evolves, his initial role as a villain cannot be underestimated. Loki's journey from villain to anti-hero is one of the most compelling arcs, showing the depth and complexity that a villain can have. Next is Ego the Living Planet from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. As a celestial, Ego possesses godlike powers and the ability to manipulate matter on a planetary scale. His plan to spread his essence across the universe was only stopped by the Guardians' teamwork and Peter Quill's newfound powers. Ego's ambition to recreate the universe in his image was a chilling reminder of what dangers that come with godlike power. And then there's Thanos, the Mad Titan, with or without the Infinity Stones. Thanos is one of the most dangerous villains the MCU has ever seen. His sheer physical strength, intellect, and determination to balance the universe made him the ultimate threat in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. With the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos achieved what no other villain has, erasing half of all life in the universe, defeating the Avengers. His blend of raw power and cosmic influence places him among the strongest villains the MCU has ever seen. Thanos' quest for the Infinity Stones and his success in wiping out half the universe made him a villain of the ages, one whose shadow looms large over the entire MCU. Next, we have Dormammu, the ruler of the Dark Dimension. His ability to manipulate time and reality within his own dimension makes him a nearly unstoppable force. If it weren't for Doctor Strange's clever use of the Time Stone, Dormammu would have consumed Earth and countless other dimensions. Dormammu's otherworldly powers and his ability to bend reality to his will makes him a cosmic level threat, one of the most powerful beings encountered by the MCU. We also have Cassandra Nova as the top tier villains from Deadpool and Wolverine, but I just did not have much content on her because the main plot of Deadpool and Wolverine was just attached here and there, and Cassandra Nova wasn't shown up to her full potential, but yes, she had the ability to be a top tier villain. And there you have it. From the weakest to the strongest, the MCU has given us unforgettable gallery of villains who've tested our heroes in ways we'll never forget. Who's your favorite MCU villain? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic Marvel content. Until next time, stay cosmic and keep critiquing. Cinematic Cosmos Critique, signing out.